Good morning. My name is Dr. Fran Bisselle. I'm head of school, and welcome to the Upper School Convocation. A new school year is upon us, and everyone is feeling a range of emotions. Hopefully excitement, maybe some nervousness, maybe some sadness and joy, maybe all at the same time. New beginnings are like that. And this new beginning, well, we've never done it quite this way before. So on behalf of the faculty and staff and the Board of Trustees, I officially welcome you to Hathaway Brown's 145th school year. For those of you who are new, welcome. And yes, a new school is a big change. And for those of you who are returning, you'll notice that many things have changed. New routines and safety protocols, new schedules, rearranged classrooms, new classmates, new courses. Yet much is still the same. Many of the same teachers are back, same Legacy Day colors, same dress code when you're in school, and yes, the same motto, the same mission, and this year, the same theme, building the future. Looking at the world today with so much change, I can't help but think why things endure and why things resist change. What makes endurance possible? Of course, it's not just about enduring, it's about thriving and flourishing as well. But HB has been so successful through all sorts of circumstances over 145 years. Why? A historian's question indeed. Let's for a moment rewind the clock to 1876, the founding year of HB, and just think about our 5 founding girls, Grace, Carrie, Clara, Dolly, Carrie, who day after day and for weeks, maybe even for months and years, watched those neighborhood boys go to the Brooks Military Academy. And then they decided one day to knock on the door and express their desire to be admitted to school, our founding moment. 1876. There were no telephones, no automobiles, not even radios yet. That was to come closer to the turn of the century. People read newspapers, and there were many to choose from. 5 major papers and over 125 minor publications in Cleveland alone, all with a specialized slant or leaning, perhaps like our social media bubbles. 1876 was a presidential election year, one of the most controversial in the history at the time. Samuel Tilden, a Democrat, despite winning the popular vote, lost to Ohio's Rutherford B. Hayes. 1876, embers from the Civil War were still burning. How to confront racism and the legacies of slavery rose to the top of the political agendas and social movements. The 1870s saw the founding of Yellowstone National Park, the first national park not only in the country, but in the world. An action that recognized the preciousness of our environment and our need to be active preservationists and conservationists. In the 1870s, all through the newspapers, warnings about smallpox, measles, scarlet fever, epidemics were common across the country and the globe. And actually, it was in 1876 that began a movement in the United States to increase vaccination production. Throughout the 1870s, Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton were often the headlines, forging paths for women's suffrage, demanding equity with the right to vote. This would not come for 46 more years. It was in this landscape, 1876, that HB's founding 5 demanded to be educated. They demanded action. They wanted to be educated, and thus began our alma mater. The historical connections are real. The issues of the day in 1876 included many of the same issues we have today: presidential elections and politics, the environment, systemic racism, viruses and vaccines, equity and women's rights, to name a few. We may think this moment is unprecedented, but upon careful examination, we recognize the many similarities. The world then and the world now needs women to rise boldly to meet the challenge of the times. We need a strong sisterhood to care about each other and to care for the world. And we need you. This is what is enduring about Hathaway Brown. And it's why we begin this year with optimism, courage, and kindness. Before I finish, I want to take a moment to talk about sisterhood and healing and one another, as we are a community in grief after the tragic loss of Scout and Chasey Scaravelli. As a sisterhood, we sustain each other through the best of times and even more through the toughest times. And for those of you who may not know, Scout would have been a freshman, our class of 2024. And Scout and Chasey both had many friends and cousins and sisters across the grades. Scout and Chasey leave a legacy of love, light, and sisterhood. And as we move through this year, we will remember and honor their legacies in various ways. Ms. Baker and I would like to announce that Scout and Chasey Sisterhood Award will be given to a 6th and 8th grader at the middle school final award ceremony for the first time this year. This award will be given to a student who embodies sisterhood. Scout and Chasey and all the Scaravelli sisters always made sisterhood their #1 priority. And the recipient will have always been there for her classmates, prioritizing others' needs above her own, just like Scout and Chasey did. At this time, I'd like to observe a moment of silence to honor these beautiful girls. So finally, welcome home. Home is where our hearts are. Get ready to roll up your sleeves. We need your energy, your voice, and your persistence. We need your engagement because there's a lot to do. Let's begin our 145th school year, embracing the journey of learning not for school, but for life. Let's build our future together. I now welcome Ms. Ritzman, Director of the Upper School.
Thank you, Dr. Bisselle. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ms. Ritzman, and I have the incredible privilege of serving as the Upper School Director here at HB. This past spring, we navigated a sudden and drastic disruption in our lives. I am sure that many of you were like me, hoping that this pandemic would end with our 2-week stay-at-home orders from Governor DeWine way back in March. Of course, as the days, weeks, and months have worn on, we have all had to grapple with this new normal. Mrs. Oz wisely reframed this for me last week and said that we are actually moving into our next normal. How true. What we are dealing with today will not last. We don't know when or how it will change, only that it is sure to change. That uncertainty is unsettling. However, I find next normal a far more hopeful phrase. I think that we can deal with this in one of two ways. We can fight this new normal or next normal and try to fit our pre-pandemic expectations into this pandemic paradigm. I have certainly fallen prey to this approach, wishing this moment away, trying to figure out how to do something the way I have always done it in the way I have always done it. Naturally, this leaves me feeling frustrated, exhausted, and defeated. Alternatively, we can meet this moment with a renewed commitment to what is most important, taking care of ourselves and each other while we move forward with the work at hand, whether that be tending to your academic growth, reaffirming our commitment to racial justice, navigating through what is sure to be a very complex election season, or simply trying to have some fun despite all of these weighty issues. Today, and every day this school year, I am going to choose the second path. I promise to meet this moment for all of you, with a deep sense of optimism that our community matters more than ever, that being together on campus matters more than ever. It's going to take all of us caring for ourselves and for each other to make this happen. This is truly a moment where the actions of every individual will very much shape what the whole community is able to do. You have heard this many times before, but it bears repeating. Wearing a mask, keeping 6-foot distancing from others, practicing good hand hygiene, and sanitizing surfaces when you're coming and going are going to help keep us all safer and increase the likelihood that we are able to spend as much time in person together as possible. Many of our Blazer athletes have been on campus since June, and they can tell you that things do not look the same as they did when many of you left in March. Construction on the Classic building is in full swing, and we will spend some time in mid-September orienting you by grade level to our new routines and procedures. Exciting work is being done, and we will move into some of our new classrooms and spaces later this fall. Every school year begins anew, and the best part of this fresh start is the opportunity to welcome new community members. We are thrilled to have 30 students join the upper school ranks, along with a number of faculty and staff members. Some of these adults are familiar faces to many of you as they have been at HB for years. Ms. Harrison will greet you in the upper school office. Ms. Cross will watch over the Student Center. Ms. Fink will help you navigate the Learning Commons. Mr. Kallmeyer will teach you exploring computer science. We do have one new to HB teacher this year, Ms. Fuller, who joins our University of Pennsylvania Fellowship Program as a math teacher. I know that I can count on each one of you to reach out via Zoom or when we are able in person to make all feel welcome here. The HB sisterhood is strong and it runs deep. I am so inspired by the work that so many of you have done in these last 6 months. Undeterred by the circumstances, you have found ways to reimagine your plans. 24 of you acted as peer facilitators in the Lemons to Lemons program and provided fun activities and mentorships to Aspire students who were so disappointed that their summer plans were canceled as well. One rising senior spent dozens of hours creating over 100 take-home science kits for those same Aspire students and created science connections for them as well. 3 students spent time on campus in hard hats as interns for our construction company, documenting the ins and outs of this incredible building process. Still more of you took courses online and found ways to pursue your intellectual curiosity and myriad hobbies. Above all, I hope that all of you had time to enjoy friends and family, safely, of course. I am so proud of the ways in which you have all embraced this moment, and my request of you is simple. Bring that energy with you today and for the rest of the year. Bring your thoughts, concerns, ideas, questions, hopes, and dreams. I know that you are as excited as I am to start this school year and to navigate our next normal together. I can't wait to see you all soon.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emma Weber, and I'm your 2020-2021 Senior Class President. After 167 days of being away from this place, there is nothing more comforting than driving up to our circle and seeing the thousands of bricks that make up a place that so many of us call our second home. Although our school still has that pervasive HB smell and still stands at 19600 North Park Boulevard, this school is nothing without you all. I miss you all. I miss the early morning scramble to find my ID badge. I miss walking into my mentor group and eating one of my fellow mentees' homemade pastries. And I miss complaining about how exhausted I am or how I feel like I have too much homework. But above all, I miss seeing you, whether it be in the library, the classroom, or just in passing. If you asked me what I imagined the 2020-2021 school year to look like, I can promise you that it looks nothing like what this upcoming year will look like. And I assume that most of you didn't expect this either. I had an entire bucket list of expectations for this year, as I imagine many of you did. But I now realize that going into a year of so many uncertainties, I need to lose any expectations and welcome the unknown, as anxious as that may make me. We might not have any solid expectations for what our English classes will look like or what drop-off procedures will entail, but we can have expectations for how our community acts during a time like this. We can expect to support each other by being kind and understanding. We should plan to reach out to our classmates because a person can never have too many friends, and you never know what a simple text can do for someone. As a community, we will honor the legacy of our HB sisters, Scout and Chasey. We should try to stay as optimistic and positive as possible, but we should also acknowledge that sometimes it's too hard to be optimistic, and that's okay too. We will hold each other accountable with grace and recognize the injustices, the biases, and the discrimination that happen both in our small community and in the world around us. Something that accompanies progress in a community of thoughtful yet imperfect people are mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable, but where there is value in mistakes is when we can acknowledge our mistakes, apologize for these mistakes, and grow and genuinely grow as a community and as people. It goes without saying that this community has been through so much these past few months, and your feelings are valid and probably shared among other members of the HB community. Reach out to your friends, teachers, and our amazing guidance counselor, Miss Bigger, if that is what you need at this time. I feel so lucky to be a part of this community. I honestly do. I feel so proud when I get to share that I go to HB. I'm so proud to go to school with all of you and very thankful that I was so warmly welcomed into this community as a sophomore. I hope to welcome all the freshmen and new community members as wonderfully as I was. I am thinking of all of those who are new to HB right now. I am so sorry that I am not able to see your dimly lit faces in our auditorium, but I will find a way to meet you. Thank you for listening to me. I love you all. If anyone ever needs anything at all, or if anyone needs a friend or someone to talk to, please just email me or DM me on Instagram, or even send me a message through my HB, and I would be more than excited to answer. You are all amazing, wonderful, and strong people. Good luck in your classes, do the best you can, and don't stress yourself out too much. Thank you.
To the HB Upper School, welcome back. My name is Mrs. Capers, a member of the Hathaway Brown class of 1986 and the Director of Alumni Relations. I wish you all the best as you embark upon the new school year. While this year is different from any other, be encouraged that HB is bound together and comforted by our sense of community and our strong sisterhood. To the class of 2021, our beloved seniors, this is your year. Today, you will receive your long-awaited class rings. Whether we are in the auditorium or on the front circle, this is a special Hathaway Brown tradition and milestone, a milestone that marks the beginning of your journey from student to alumna. This class ring symbolizes your academic achievement, your hard work, your dedication, and your journey thus far. Wear it with pride and wear it with love. Whenever you put this ring on, may it be a reminder of your lifelong connection to your alma mater and to your HB sisters around the world. Throughout your years here, you've embodied the school's motto to learn not for school, but for life. Wherever you go from here, let the ring inspire you to continue to learn from your new journeys and your new adventures. Congratulations.